Good afternoon. My name is Inesta Bellardo, owner and chief operator here at B&A Benefit Solutions. And we are so excited to be streaming live today here in Bridgeport, Connecticut from your local library. We decided to come on to the live stream to be able to reach you, and also you. So if you're tuning in today, now we are telling you that now is a time to own. We know that here in the state of Connecticut, amongst any other states, we know that the cost of rent is going up, and going up. So what a better way to be able to have an investment for yourself, for you and your family, than now a time to own. So we do have some experts in the studio today. We're going to talk to you a little bit about owning a property, being able to understand what the process looks like, securing some finances, and also talking to our guru, our real estate agent here, Miss Angela Wilson. We have in the house Alexandra Casabianca from First World Mortgage, and she's going to be talking to us. We encourage you to come on in. You don't want to miss this live stream. And if you catch us on the replay, please feel free to like, comment, and share. Remember, this is your space. This is a time and a place to ask all of the questions that you have from all of the professionals that are here to answer your question. No question is considered to be a silly question. So come on in and tell us where you're joining from. Tell us whatever situation you might have that we may be able to answer those questions for you. Again, my name is Inesta Bellardo, owner and chief operator of B&A Benefit Solutions. I am your insurance lady. So I'm going to introduce our panel today. Without further ado, who is going to introduce herself, Miss Angela Wilson. Here she comes.
Thank you so much, Inessa, for taking time to bring us all together in this space. I am Angela Wilson, and I am with Global Real Estate in Stratford, Connecticut. So I am local, where I am always reachable by any of the community that has questions or concerns about housing.
All right, Angela, thank you for that wonderful introduction. I'm going to bring in so she can introduce herself, the lady of the hour, the one that we're really so eager to talk to. Aside sitting right on the panel with us with Angela Wilson, we have Alexandra Casabianca. She's going to tell us a little bit about herself and why she's decided to join this crazy panel of women business owners here in the state of Connecticut. And so we're going to allow her the time to tell us who she is.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Alexandra Casabianca. I'm with First World Mortgage, and I've been a loan officer for about 15 years already. So I have all the answers. I'm happy to guide any and everybody through the process of getting a mortgage, getting financing, preparing to buy a home. That's what I have for now. We're going to be talking about time to own down payment assistance from the state of Connecticut. This is only for Connecticut residents. So I'll let you, Inessa, continue.
All right, thank you so much. So you heard it from Alex. You heard from a really quick introduction from Angela Wilson, our real estate guru, and of course myself. We're going to take you through a quick presentation. Again, like, comment, and share. We encourage you to come in and join us for this conversation. If you're sitting on your couch, if you're just looking for some information, feel free to sit back, relax, and enjoy. Tell us again whatever questions or comments or concerns. Don't be shy. This is your time to get information from the experts. We'll be doing this all over the state of Connecticut. So if there is any other questions past this that you would like to have us answer, there's no time like the present, a time to own. You'd be surprised once we go through this list of information and we talk to you a little bit more about the process. You'll be surprised how simple and easy buying a home can be. So we don't want anyone to be scared of this process. We're here to empower you through the process of a time to own. And I'll tell you guys, this stuff is like Campbell's soup. It's good. And we want to be able to share it with you, and also you. So we're going to turn on this slide. We first have Angela Wilson, who's going to present to us a couple of pieces that you need to know in terms of the very beginning, right? So the beginning of the whole story is really, where is that beautiful house? Where is the home that you're looking for, your forever home, or whatever it is that you want to label it as? Of course, you're going to need a real estate agent, right? So you can't go out and do this on your own. You need to make sure that you have a real estate agent that knows how to work with you. And for us here at the agency, it is Angela Wilson.
Thank you, Inesta. So I want to make sure that we know what home ownership looks like. With our group, why do we have the agenda? So, yeah, that's me. So, so this is me. I am a Fairfield County resident. I am the proud parent of two great daughters. As with most entrepreneurs, we are multi-talented. So I do create jewelry, but not so much. I've been a homeowner for better than 15 years now. I went into real estate. Because I started as a single parent, and that led me into wanting to become a realtor. And I've been doing that for more than 10 years. In order for me to best serve my clients that I'm looking to serve, is that I want to make sure that my education is where it needs to be. So I am also a certified probate real estate specialist. So when people start going through later changes in life, I am certified to be able to help you with that. I am also certified for those other changes that we may go through, because divorce, fortunately or unfortunately, is becoming a bigger thing in our communities these days. And I follow up my training regularly by being a power agent, and I surround myself with not just this team of great women and educating myself through them, but also I have a coach that keeps me on point with everything that's real estate. And then we just go from there and progress. Next slide. Okay. All right. So a lot of people come in and they want to know where do they start? What does the beginning look like? That looks different for everyone. And one of the things that I always tell people is that you want to make sure that it's kind of a two-fold process. You want to make sure that you're approved for a mortgage. Pre-approval is really a soft check, and Alex will get more into that because that's her lane. But when you come to a real estate agent, you want to be actually hard approved for your mortgage. So that way I don't want to set you up and take you out to look at something that is not within your price range. And by getting an actual approval, it tells you what your credit score looks like and what you can actually afford. Next. Okay. What are some of the reasons that people are looking for homes? Well, COVID came through, and that threw everybody into a loop. Everybody that wasn't working from home became work from home. They don't have enough space. They've got kids running around. The kids are not in school, so now they're doing education from home. You're working from home. That 2-bedroom apartment that you had is now like a 1-bedroom because everybody's all over the place. The other thing is, we were always sold that it was the American dream. Everybody wanted to grow up and, get good jobs or a decent job, be able to afford their own home. Now we're focused on becoming entrepreneurs. And that's one of the things that I do kind of bring to the table with my homeowners is, once we get you into that home, let's talk about how you're going to make that home also work for you. And entrepreneurship is one of those things. Stability is a great thing to have. Everybody wants stability. With home ownership, you don't have to worry about your landlord. Everybody right now is going through price hikes. If somebody else comes to me and says my landlord is now going up or trying to go up on my rent by $250, everybody wants to be stable and have that income to say, this is what I can afford. And now with COVID again coming through, rents are changing, savings are changing because of the high prices. So now we need to all do something different. Next. So here I have put together for you a couple of things. One of which is the 5 steps of becoming of home ownership and what those goals are that look like for you. Again, I'm going to say to you is that you want to check your credit score. Um, there are plenty of apps that will allow you to do that without it impacting your credit score. So, and that gives you a place to, like, if you know whether or not you need to clean up some things, you want to do that and start to look at those things. Once you do that, you can scan the QR code that will give you the ability to get access to the 5 steps of starting your home ownership goals. And then what will happen is you'll also get an email that gives you a complete booklet. It's like 40 pages of information that myself and my coach have put together to guide you through like what being a single person looks like in home ownership. Okay, good.
Thank you so much for that information. I mean, obviously, there is a time to own for anyone that is interested in owning a property. We know a lot of times people may be fearful of the things that they may think that they uncover when it comes to buying a home. However, we can assure them that this process is very easy. It's very seamless in terms of making sure you have the right people in place to make sure that they can answer the questions. So we have coming to you without further ado, the lady who knows what about the money, right? Where is the money coming from? How am I going to be able to afford this? What programs are out here for me? And what can I really do? The rents are going up, as Angela has mentioned from before. And even if the rents were not going up, we know that having a property is really, really a great investment, one of the best investments that you could ever make. So we're going to turn you over into the hands of Alexandra Casabianca. Alex, take it away.
Thank you, Inesta. So yes, that this is the most important investment for many or most of the people. Time to own is now given up to $50,000. This is free money. See, you don't need any money for down payment. It's in this down payment assistance it's a mortgage. You know, they give you 50,000 and they have you sign a mortgage. The mortgage is at 0% and you don't have a mortgage payment, so it's free. And they will forgive 10% of this money every year on each anniversary of the purchase. So if you remain at this house, occupying this house for 10 years, you won't have to pay back a dime, which is amazing. This is free money. I've never seen this in my 13 years working as a mortgage lender, and it is available now. It's not going to be available for much longer. It's limited funds. So if people can take advantage of this program, they should. The main requirements are to be Connecticut residents for 3 years and first-time home buyers. Okay, so if you are a first-time home buyer, Connecticut resident for 3 years, you can get $50,000 to buy a house. So this is $50,000 up to 20% of the purchase price plus 5% for closing costs. So you don't have to pay the closing costs from your pocket. You don't have to pay a down payment. The amount of money you receive will depend on the area. So we have high and very high opportunity areas, which are the nicer areas. And those are, and what the state of Connecticut wants is to allow people to move into better areas, better school systems. And for this reason, they'll give you $50,000 for those areas. The rest of the areas, you can get up to $25,000, which is still amazing to get $25,000 free money. You need to have 2 years of employment. You need to show your income, and it's decent credit. You don't need a high credit score. We can work with low 600s, even high 590s. We can make it work. So you don't need a high credit score. All you need is the desire to buy a house. I will take care of the pre-approval. I will give you the options. Obviously, if you have a better credit score, you will have more options than if you have a lower credit score. But it's not going to work. You should not stop or prevent yourself from moving forward because you think your credit is not good enough. We can also, some people, yes, it's not good enough, but it comes down to paying down some credit cards, and we can reach the credit score that will allow us to move forward. That's what I have for now. It's we'll get your income, your documents, you will get your pay stubs, we'll get your bank statements, and we'll determine how much you can qualify for. And we'll tell you I'll share the map with you where you can find where this $50,000, obviously we want 50,000 instead of 25 when possible. So you can go and check that out, and just when you're looking for houses, just try to stay within those areas and you can get $50,000 free money, which is amazing. This is what I have. Inesta will continue with you guys, and I'm here for questions.
All right, Alex, thank you so much. Okay, thank you, Alex, for that wonderful bit of information. I mean, it's a lot to pack in, all in one space. So we're here to give you just some general understanding that there is funding that is available through the program with Alex. We do have a real estate agent who is an expert in her field. She obviously has passion for what it is that she does. And of course, there's me, the insurance lady. As you all know, as from my introduction, again, my name is Inesta Bellardo from BNA Benefit Solutions. So we handle here the insurance piece when it comes to making sure that you have the proper coverages for insuring this new beautiful home that you're going to be going into with Alex, and have been looking for it with Angela Wilson in her business here in the state of Connecticut. So there's a lot of questions when it comes to the insurance of the homeowners. A lot of times what we find is people are trying to figure out exactly what their budget is. So I'm going to take you through a couple of slides that tell you a little bit about when to bring us into the picture and things of that nature and what to look for. So remember, if you have any questions, we encourage you to come into the chat and tell us where you're joining us from, and like, comment, and share. Come on in. We have a lot of people that call the agency asking us questions, so we thought that this program would be very fitting for our audience. So of course, everyone wants to know, when is the time to contact the insurance person? Unfortunately, sometimes we get contacted at the last minute, right? Once the closing is happening, people really do call us, and that's when panic sets in, because the mortgage person now says, do you have any insurance? And of course, what we hear is, no, I hadn't thought about the insurance at all. I was just trying to find this beautiful home, this beautiful space for me and my family. So we're going to talk a little bit about some of the coverages, the key parts to the homeowner's policy. What we're hearing so many times, especially for people who are already in a home, that the insurance agent who they worked with previously never really took the time to go over some of the steps when it comes to the homeowner's insurance. This is very, very important because you want to be able to cover this beautiful home. So when things go bump into the night, you not only have a policy, but you have an agent who you can contact to say, Inesta, what about this? And what about this? And things of that nature. We're going to talk about one of the key points, which is the homeowner's dwelling policy. We're going to talk a little bit about the other coverages. And one of the things that we hear, especially here in Connecticut, we're going to talk a little bit about the difference between water and sewer and drain coverage and flood coverage and really what it means. So I encourage you to take out your policy, even if you're not a new homeowner. Take out your policy now and look at the policy that you have. Is it dated? Does it need to be updated? Do you have the correct coverages? And do you have what you need? And do you really understand your policy? So again, Inesta Bellardo, I have over 16 years in the field working with insurance. For the purpose of this, we're talking about homeowners insurance, but we have other lines of business. We are licensed in Connecticut, New York, and Georgia, so we can do homeowners insurance in any one of those states. And then we have other lines of business. Insurance is what we do.com. All right. So congratulations, right? So you found the new home. You're ready to get settled in. And again, you haven't talked to anyone about the homeowners insurance policies. So we always tell people we want to be introduced in the very beginning of the process. Why? Why does that make sense to introduce us in the very beginning? It helps you to really understand how much your mortgage is going to be, so you have an idea of what the insurance is going to look like. It helps alleviate some of the stress for having to put all of the money into the insurance or trying to figure out if the mortgage person wants you to pay it through escrow or pay it up front. And of course, it gives you an estimate of the real life as to what you're really going to end up paying. And is that house really fitting for you, right? Because if the mortgage matches and, the real estate agent, everything works good with the agent, but at the end of the day, the insurance doesn't work with what your budget is, then we've got a problem. So introduce us in the very beginning. Even if you have 10 homes that you're looking at, we'll be able to run some quotes for you from the very beginning. And you can call us. Our number is on the screen. You can call us, text us, email us, however you got to get a hold of us, you can do that. So we're not going to bore you to death here, but we want to point out there are some really critical parts when it comes to the insurance policy. And what I hear often is the dwelling and the coverage, the cost that I paid. So the cost that you paid for the house is not really what we're looking at when we're looking at dwelling coverage A for the homeowner's policy. When you look at your policy, pull your policy out. If you don't have it in hand, I encourage you to do so. When you are looking at your homeowner's policy, one of the key parts is the dwelling policy. The dwelling A coverage is the amount the insurance company will pay in the event something happens to your home. If that home crumbles all the way down to the ground, we want to make sure that you have enough insurance to cover everything. So again, that's dwelling coverage A when it comes to your insurance policy. One of the other parts is personal property. So personal property is everything that you have designed your home with. It's talking about, the cabinets that you put in. It's talking about the shower that you redid. It's talking about that flat screen TV that you bought for Black Friday that just passed us. It's talking about everything that's inside your home, in the walls of your home. We need to make sure that you have adequate coverage. And one of the key pro tips that I will tell you about personal property is make sure you're keeping receipts, right? So if you purchased a new kitchen, if you redid your bathroom, because what will happen is when it comes to a claim, the insurance company is going to want to know, what did you really pay in order to remodel that home? Having receipts. Pro tip, having receipts for everything. We encourage you to get a fireproof safe and really put those receipts in there for when it comes time for claims, you have all of that. The next one is going to be loss of use. I'm kind of skipping around here. So loss of use is something that you should have on your policy. It simply says that if something happens inside your home, a fire or a flood or whatever the case may be, that you have access to funds to allow you to not reside inside of your home. No one wants to live in a smoke-filled home because you had a kitchen fire and now you have no place to go. The relatives don't want you to stay with them all the time necessarily for a long extended period of time. So that hotel that is down the street from your home, that Hyatt Regency or whatever it is that you'd like to stay at, you can be able to go there and stay and get reimbursed while your home is getting reconstructed. So look at your policy and look and make sure that you have loss of use. If you don't have loss of use, call me, right? We can help you to make sure that we redo that policy for you. The next one is personal liability. We want to make sure that if anyone comes onto your property, keep in mind, anyone you bring onto your property when you own your property could be a potential liability, right? So you bring a contractor in, he slips and falls over a wire. You bring somebody in to cut the grass, and now, for some reason, the lawnmower cut off their big toe. Whatever the case may be, there's a slip and fall from the old lady down the street because you forgot to clear the ice off of the front of your house, which is part of your property. You want to make sure that you have personal liability on there. So again, we realize that the homeowner's policy has a lot of different components, but please take a look at your homeowner's policy. And when you're purchasing a home, don't be so quick to pull something in just because it makes sense for the closing. We want to make sure that that's going to be a policy that's going to fit your home. Okay. So some of the additional things, and I'm not going to bring us into everything individually because there's a lot of other things that can be covered under the homeowner's policy. A lot of times our customers will say to us, Inesta, I didn't realize that my wedding ring can be covered. I didn't realize I can cover my tools and things like that. I didn't realize that I can cover fine jewelry and things. So there are certain things that you can cover, especially for people with wedding rings that are in relationships. What happens when the wedding ring falls down the drain, right? What happens when the cleaning person comes in and now all of a sudden the wedding ring is maybe gone? What happens when the wedding ring cannot be found because you took it off to mow the lawn and maybe the diamond is up underneath the blade? So you have to make sure that your homeowner's policy is best covered for the things that you find valuable inside your home. Now, of course, we realize that sometimes people have homeowners policies that are just what we call a DP3, which is a dwelling fire policy, but you be very surprised that you can actually have a homeowner's policy that covers everything inside of the home at the same cost sometimes as what you would be paying for a dwelling fire policy. So we always say, pro tip, it really makes no sense to have a dwelling fire policy if you can cover everything on the inside, because what happens when things go bump in the night? Now that flat screen TV is now gone and you can't replace it. One of the last things that I will share with you, again, we understand that there are a lot of pieces when it comes to the homeowner's policy, but one of the last things that is very important is, and people call us all the time, especially here in New England, right? Hey, Inesta, the little river that I had down at the bay, it flooded into the home. Is that covered under my policy? Hey, Inesta, the winds were blowing and my neighbor's tree fell down and caused some damage, and now I have water coming into my property. There is a difference between water, sewer, and drain and flood coverage. Two separate things. Now, when it comes to the homeowner's policy, a lot of times there are some agencies that will not include water, sewer, and drain. There are some agents that won't even talk to customers about flood insurance. There is a significant difference between water, sewer, and drain and flood coverage. If you are in a place that gets torrential rains, like here in Connecticut, or gets torrential winds and things like that, or you're living near a brook, that nice little brook can come on into the house, and with no flood coverage, you have no coverage. One of the pro facts that I will tell you is the entire state of Connecticut is considered to be a flood zone. Now, does the mortgage company require you to have flood insurance? Sometimes they will, and sometimes they won't, depending on how close that body of water is to the home. Water, sewer, and drain is not something that is usually a requirement, but that covers if the ceiling leaks and things come down, you have couches in the living room and things like that. Mold is one of the main things that is very hard to get rid of. And black mold is very, very bad for your health risk and things like that. So you want to make sure that you have the water coverage, the water, sewer, and drain coverage. And if potentially flood coverage is needed for you, or you're looking to have that, then you can call us and we can talk to you about the difference. So again, there's a difference between water, sewer, and drain versus the flood coverage. You need to look at your policy because you do not want to wait until you have an issue to decide you want this coverage or this endorsement on your policy. Okay. So again, we just wanted to give you a couple of pieces of information. Here at the agency, we do business with multiple carriers when it comes to homeowners. So this is just to name a few. Remember, this is just a few. So we have Farmers, Progressive, Travelers, Nationwide, and those are a few. Some of the best in class we know are available for you. So thank you for allowing us to go over some of the parts of the homeowner's policy. Again, take a look at it. If you have any questions about your policy and you want us to reassess, or you're buying a home, you're working with Alex, you're working with Angela with this program, A Time to Own, please make sure that you include us in the process. We'd like to be a part of the entire village, so that way we can make sure that we're serving you best. So I'm going to add you guys to I'm going to add you guys here. Okay, so we're going to add Angela to see if Angela has any last and final remarks, and then we'll go next with Alex, and then we'll go next with myself. So go ahead, Angela.
We are muted. Okay. So if your head isn't already spinning, it should be, but just a little bit. Know that we are here. Know that we are not that group of people that are going to just toss you out there and let you stay by yourselves. Even after your home is purchased, you're going to be like, are you still here? because we don't go away. We don't just sell homes. We sell places where people want to be and grow, and we help you make any of those next steps. After years and you decide you need to downsize or you need to upsize, we're still here. If there's a problem, you can still reach out to Anesta. If you have a question about something that happened during your purchase, I'm still going to be here. Even after all the checks clear, I'm still going to be here. I'm not going anywhere. So there is a lot more to consider, and we've given you a lot to go over. But again, we are here and we will answer any question that you have. So if you want to come into the room and just join us and ask the questions, enter chat, share it. If you're joining us on the replay, put it in. We're going to be checking the chat and we will definitely get back to you. And I turn it over to Alex.
Yes, I don't have much to add. We have an amazing team. I'm very happy about finding these two women. And we got you covered. You have an excellent team. Give us a call. We're happy to start the process. The first step is the pre-approval. Make sure you qualify for a mortgage. And that's going to happen with me. After we have established how much you can purchase, you'll start working with Angela and Inesta. And like Angela said, we're going to stay there until you need us.
Thank you, Alex. Thank you so much for that. And so if this has been helpful for you, you have the faces of 3 amazing women here in the state of Connecticut, ready, willing. You're off. Okay, let me take you off. You have the faces of 3 amazing women that are ready, willing, and able to help you. These are not people who have started just yesterday. These are experts in the field. Not only do they know this stuff because this is what they do in business, but they know this stuff because they have lived these things, experiences in their real life. So if you have found this helpful for you, we encourage you to like, comment, and share. So what's next? Once we find the home, once we close, there's going to be a slew of questions that you have even after the process, right? And so we want to remember, as both of the ladies have said, that we're not going anywhere even after the signatures and everything have dried on the dotted line, where we will be here. We are your team. We are the village that you've been looking for time and time again, knit together closely, put in a package, wrapped in a bow, and handed to you as if we were Christmas presents all by ourselves. So what this team is preparing to do is we're going to be having some more talks. You know, I've heard of TED Talks in the past. I haven't really ever watched TED Talks, but I've heard of TED Talks in the past. And we're going to be doing some really live and intricate sessions where we're going to be talking about our own experiences as homeowners, people who do investments. We have one of the representatives that does investments herself, Angela Wilson, that will talk to you a little bit more about turning that basement space into a business. And of course, me, the insurance lady, I'm always going to be talking to you about the value of your coverages, right? Because when things go bump in the night, that's when you want to make sure you have your insurance lady on your side who you can call. Not a call center who you never know who you're going to be getting, but someone who is local that knows exactly how to reach you. So again, we want to say thank you for your time from a rainy library here in Bridgeport, Connecticut. Keep us in mind. Please feel free to call us at any time. There's no comment that's going to be silly or nothing that we haven't heard that we are not prepared to answer for you. So again, if you like this, please again, like, comment, and share. And we want to thank you for joining in. We see people coming into the room. We want to say thank you. Give us some hearts, some thumbs up, some things like that, so we can know that you're out there. And we will see you soon. Until next time, Inesta Bilardo, your insurance lady. Bye-bye.